We're we're back.
We're back. It's
Hey.
not, it doesn't have the same magic as when we're
No,
together,
I know, it's true. It's like
but
an inherently awkward thing to record remotely, though I guess people do it all the time if you're like Richard Hanania or something.
hmm if you have like no soul and don't want to look your
Hmm.
friend in the eyes,
Yeah.
um, but I miss you.
I miss you too, Dasha. You look great. Um,
No.
I love your mental institution. Nice
Yeah, it's
digs.
one. I had to go to rehab, so they deigned to let me record the show. No, I keep going to Spain.
I know.
I don't like Spain,
Hmm. Well, I'm
and
about to
yet,
be in Spain, so don't lay it on too thick. You don't like Spain. How many times have you been to Spain? Like three or something?
well, twice,
Mm,
but both for kind of long periods of time.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I can't really get into why I'm here,
yeah,
but everything's fine,
yeah.
except there's a heat wave all across Europe,
Hmm.
and I've got boots
And
on the
there's
ground, and I can say
and there's no AC.
no,
No, that's crazy.
because the Democrats
Hmm.
don't want us to have it.
Is that so? I
There's like
Europe,
environmental concerns.
yeah, but that sounds like bullshit. Europe's weird because they have like the high-speed rail, which we don't have in America, but they don't have AC.
Yeah, but they have all these like counterintuitive eco measures that they
Hmm.
implement and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, well, I'm in like Andalusia,
Hmm.
which is kind of like the frying pan. I'm in a especially hot
Yeah.
part of Spain also.
Yeah. The South.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as like this, like Paris and stuff seems, because everyone
Mm.
lives in those charming little houses that have like the zinc roofs
Yeah.
that everyone's like boiling to death in now.
Yeah. And like little greenhouses and whatever, because they'll have like
Yeah.
wraparound windows.
Well, I was trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, obviously, global warming, right?
Hmm.
But my understanding is like there's usually like a couple hot days,
Yeah.
but in the last like decade or so, there have been longer stretches of even hotter days.
Uh-huh.
And so Europores have this like supremacy about not needing the ACs, but
Hmm.
actually, like, Europe's getting warmer than any other continent,
Is it? Why is that?
apparently.
Hmm. It's because all of the
I don't
mass
know.
migration. They're bringing they're bringing the warmth over.
Yeah, that equator style temperature
But everybody
is
obviously has to
rising.
like cope, and the way that Europors cope is by saying that not having AC builds character and makes you a stronger person.
It kills you.
Yeah, it does, especially if you're old. Have
It's
there been any like geriatric deaths?
in France, yeah.
Mm.
I don't know about
Well, that's all
Spain.
for the better, I guess. When you have an
Well, that's
aging
why they
population, you want to like shepherd them into heaven as quickly as possible.
and replace them with
Yeah, yeah. Before like euthanasia becomes a thing. I don't know.
already
Would you
is
like
now.
it is, yeah, but not like on an industrial scale quite yet. Though, like I'm trying to think like if I was a really old person, if I would rather like boil to death in my tiny apartment or be euthanized in a weird impersonal pod.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
But those are gonna be options.
Yeah. I'm coming
Um,
around to it.
I keep getting weird health ailments
Yeah, like
also.
what? Give us a
Like,
list.
well, I keep saying I'm finally having a brat summer
Mm-hmm.
because I'm eating bananas, rice, applesauce, toast, like the
Uh-huh.
brat diet
Uh-huh.
that you're supposed to
Uh-huh.
eat when you like are vomiting all the time. So yeah, it's a real, you could say it's kind of a brat summer out here.
Hmm. Belated
Um,
brat summer.
I think it's the heat. The food's not very good.
No, Spanish food, I guess, is they keep, well, everybody is always trying to convince you that Spanish food is like incredible. And like, okay, the wine and the olive oil are good.
The wine's mid.
But otherwise it's like salty tapas.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not even at that like tier.
Hmm.
I'm like having like a hacienda,
Yeah.
like paella is okay.
Yeah. Huh.
It's just, well, I'm at a, I'm not at rehab or a mental institution. It really sounds like I am, but I'm at
Yeah.
a
Well, it looks
facility
like
of
you are.
sorts. I, and I am at a facility of sorts with many other people. So I have like
Hmm.
group meals.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard to cook for like a lot of people.
You're in
So I
prison.
don't blame. I'm in prison. I'm in jail.
You were extradited for a felony that you committed last time around.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, which is why we're not allowed to talk about it. Podcast's over.
No, pocket. Look at us.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't like doing it like this.
No, but we have to bring the content to the people, yeah.
I know they need it. But yeah, Europe, Spain especially, it is the third world.
Hmm.
There's no difference. I'd rather be in Southeast Asia
Well, you'd probably get better service there because one thing about the third world is that there is an ample service class and a
and a more
strong
like
social
yeah,
hierarchy. So,
more of a servile mindset.
yeah.
Whereas here it is very much like a non-helpful siesta culture.
Hmm. Yeah, which we've talked about before. It's
Mm,
like better in theory than in practice. Because like you're like, yeah, I can siesta max. That sounds nice to like shut down your life for like 4 hours in the middle of prime daylight to go home and
yeah.
like eat jamon iberico and beat your wife. But in reality, it kind of sucks.
It makes you feel quite unmoored.
Hmm.
And I
No
made kind of
pun
a Pinterest.
intended.
Nah. I made a Pinterest board before I came here with like,
Uh-huh.
pictures of like a young Monica Bellucci and
Uh-huh.
Liv Tyler in that movie, like Stealing Beauty or whatever, where she's in the Italian countryside. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's a flop,
Hmm.
but it's just a few more weeks.
Hmm. Yeah.
How's New York City?
It's fine. The
How about
same.
those Knicks, huh?
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
It's been a while.
Not, yeah. Well, no, I've never seen so many people out in the street. And I guess it was nice because people weren't like looting and rioting. They were like legitimately um joining together in like a united display of enthusiasm and fanfare. It was really sweet. The kids were out.
Well, you saw that like JP Morgan DEI exec who stole the trash can.
No.
Oh, they put out like the orange and blue Knicks trash cans.
Mm.
You have to have seen it. Anyway,
No.
there's a video of like a of like a big fat lady with like a snapback, but weirdly with no brim, like really
Uh-huh.
weird kind of cap. Knicks fan dumping all the trash onto the street out of the trash can and like taking it.
Uh-huh. Why?
And then they found out that she's like, yeah, like a literally a DEI executive at JP Morgan.
Uh-huh.
To
But
because
wait,
it's
what?
like a collector's item. It's a special Knicks trash can.
Mm.
Sports fan,
Huh. Oh, she was taking the trash can, not take. I thought she was
not
taking.
the
I'm
trash.
so.
She was leaving the trash and taking the trash
She's
can.
like, this trash has like sentimental collector's value because it was thrown away on the day that the Knicks won the championship. I mean,
I
I
watched it. It was
guess
like 4 a.m. here.
you watched the game.
Hmm.
I couldn't help but watch the game because I was like mincing around outside and there was just like TVs and projectors installed everywhere, um, which was scary. I don't like big like massings of people because it makes me think of terrorist attacks and
Crowd
mob
crash.
violence. Yeah.
Yeah. When are you coming to Spain?
I think in like a week or two
Oh, great. We
soon.
could link up here. We
Yeah.
could, it's great.
Yeah.
Everyone come
Yeah.
through.
hmm
It's a wonderful culture.
Well, I was literally, as you know, I've been rereading Welbeck's Serotonin. We were like literally going to do the drive that the narrator
Oh,
Claude
yeah.
Florent Labrouste does with his Asian girlfriend Yuzu, who he hates. But apparently that's not a very scenic route on purpose because he hates his girlfriend, so he wants to make her vacation as unpleasant and disenjoyable as possible. But I think um, that plan is getting thrown out in favor of a more scenic route. Yeah,
That seems like a good move, but it's a cute
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
You were in
Uh,
Montreal recently.
yeah, sad to have missed
You were doing a little
the
mass
big event.
shooting and
Yeah, yeah. I was trooning out. Um, Yeah, there was a mass shooting like days after I left Montreal. You've been to Montreal. I mean, you're right. It is kind of a sexy city.
I'm a big fan of Montreal.
Yeah, why?
Mm, I like that it's like French Catholic,
hmm
but still North American, and it is kind of
Yeah,
like it feels very, yeah, sexy, but kind of like adult
yeah.
in a nice
Well,
way. I like the architecture. I like that the food is actually really good.
the one thing with travel is that if you watch any sort of like travel vlogs or videos, they're generally really bad and they all have like this hideous filter on them that's like supposed to be like high contrast and therefore like um appealing for people with like fried dopamine receptors. So, and they mainly hit all the main like tourist sites, and you come away with like an impression of every city that's like truly like horrific. Like if you just like went by those alone, you would never want to travel anywhere. But
Yeah,
actually, the real Montreal was pretty nice.
it's got a good energy.
Um,
Did you go to the porno movie theater?
I did. There's one operative porn theater in Montreal called L'Amour. I drove
Cinema
past it.
L'amour.
Yeah,
Oh.
I thought about going in, but if you like, I went on like some Reddit board and read all the reviews, and basically, if you come in there like as a couple or as a single woman, you can expect that all these men, as Nicole Kidman
Oh,
says in Eyes Wide Shut, all these men, and you're like, ooh, but it's actually just a bunch of like vagrants who will try to like separate you from your man and like come on you. So I
I think
decided
they're,
to skip that part.
well, it smells pretty bad in there.
Have you
If
been
you go
there?
as a couple, I have.
Cool.
And if you go as a couple, you can rent like a private room
Yeah.
that's still pretty gross, but it's like up in like a balcony. But
Uh-huh.
I don't think the impression, I mean, I'm sure there's some vagrants, but they're mostly like old gay guys,
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds
you know,
nice.
and they're just there to jack off and they can still kind of see you. And if they know someone's up there, they'll kind of like, you know, file into the aisles and try and like catch a glimpse.
hmm
But it's like, I don't know. There's that book, Times Square Red, Times Square Blue,
Uh-huh.
about the jack off theaters that used to be in Times Square.
Is it that Samuel Delaney guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, and he has like there is something nostalgic and nice about it
hmm
that we've lost in our like hyper optimized like network society.
Yeah.
The kind of like community they can build amongst like people who just want to like come in a room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Montreal still has a little bit of that.
Yeah, because it's kind of seedy and socialist in the best way possible. That's really all there is to see in French Canada. Also drove up to Quebec City, which is much more scenic and pretty, like the
Hmm,
Old Town
never been.
area. It's beautiful, but it's like overtaken by like Indian and pensioner tourists, and it feels
Sure.
like a theme park or something. And then the rest of French Canada is basically like the Midwest or New Jersey, but French, like
What
trucker
was your
roots.
favorite part?
Well, I treated myself and did do one amazing thing, which is I went and saw the grave of AIDS patient zero, Gaetan Dugas, which is
It's
located
crazy
in
that's his name.
yeah, it is. I mean, nominal determinism. How couldn't he? But actually, well, it turns out the funny thing about that guy is that he was given a really raw deal, no pun intended, in the Randy Schultz book, and the band played on, which was like the most exhaustive, comprehensive account of the AIDS crisis by this gay journalist who later ended up succumbing to the disease himself. Uh, and of course, I like sent the photo of myself at the grave to Niccolo,
Uh-huh.
like, you jelly, you mad. And he basically gave me, I was wondering why Gaetan Dugas was kind of framed as the patient zero, because it turns out that he isn't. And there was like multiple modes of transmission into North America.
Yeah, it seems
Uh,
unlikely that one guy should take
yeah.
all the blame.
Yeah. Even though like um he was like on average having sex with thousands of men, but so were a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
And essentially I assumed that maybe there was some like internecine like sexual competition between the gay journalist and these gay personages that he was talking about in his book, and he saw fit to frame the guy for personal reasons, but it actually turns out that it wasn't personal at all. It was much worse. It was professional, because his editor at the time put him up to it, because he was like, we have to sell this book and we need a personal narrative, and it
Mm.
has to be like dark and salacious, and this is how we're going to do it.
Did they know each other at all?
No, no, not at all. And basically, he came from like a big, close-knit, like French Canadian Catholic family, and they really closed ranks around him. They have like a family plot in this small graveyard that's attached to a church, and that opens up to an elementary school. So there's like all these school
Wow.
children playing in the background, and it's like him and his sisters basically in this plot, and I guess his parents maybe. The
We're saying days
shooting.
later. Yeah.
There was
Oh my
there was
God, fuck, it's doing okay. Sorry.
what?
It's just the internet sucks.
Oh no.
This is Europe.
I know.
Okay.
No
Hopefully it
AC,
just
no
okay.
internet. Yeah. Got to go to internet cafe, but there isn't one. Um okay, so yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, there was a shooting days later,
Yeah.
which I thought was funny. Once again, place the Armenian curse. So some guy went to Pornhub HQ, or he went to the
Halo,
HQ of
which is like
the
the
parent company, right?
yeah.
I guess they have to have kind of a generic, techie sounding parent company name.
And his name was Seth. What was his name?
Something. I don't know, Seth something. That's how bad it is for mass shooters now. You get taken out.
I know we can't
People
even.
mock you. They mock your manifesto, and ain't nobody remember your name.
I mean, and Tracy was a fan. Seth Hatfield?
Hatfield. That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
Seth Hatfield.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah.
he like was posted up in some hotel room,
Hmm.
and he wasn't, I guess, trying to really do a mass shooting. It seemed like he had a specific target,
Okay, so it's more like
and his
Luigi-esque in
manifesto is
nature.
sort of like a call. Yeah.
His
Mm,
manifesto,
hard to say.
um, I guess it's 104 pages. I barely read it. I'm gonna be real with you. I tried. I really gave it my best. I tried to pretend it was the
I
Emirata
skimmed
essay.
it,
They're kind of similar. They're
which
like
I
coming
read
at the problem
diligently.
from like different angles, but yeah, but
They both
essentially
deal with
the
hypergamy, and I
yes.
wouldn't be surprised if the Emirata essay is what set him off.
Mm, could be. Maybe he read it
He
when
was
we
reading
did
The Cut that
originally.
day and he decided, yeah.
yeah,
He'd had
to go
enough.
on a like a on a tear, yeah. But it was really interesting because so the shooting, okay, so there were three dead, a cop, a
Including the
civilian,
shooting.
and the shooter. The cop was some Muslim North African who strangely looked whiter. He looked more like your average like Canuck than the civilian who was supposedly a rabbi and
He
who was
wasn't a
taken down. He
rabbi.
wasn't a rabbi, but the initial
He
reports
wasn't
were
a
like
rabbi.
he was just a Jew.
That was some misinfo. I looked into this and all the like the Canadian press. He was a suit salesman. He was a humble schmata
A
peddler
schmatus, yeah, okay.
who was a very devout Jew. So a lot of the press, like,
Hmm.
was the pull quotes were all from his rabbi.
Okay,
So that
gotcha.
got
Okay.
like conflated and misinterpreted, and people were
Hmm.
saying that, yeah, this female police officer panicked, shot a rabbi who happened to be at
Yeah.
the Pornhub offices. Also, people say, which may or may not be true, that the CEO of Pornhub is a rabbi or a former rabbi. So I feel like people are getting their wires crossed that way. I see
Yeah.
how people are, getting mixed, getting confused. But the
Uh-huh.
civilian who was killed was not a rabbi, but his
Uh-huh.
name was like Michael Mizrahi
Yeah.
or something.
Yes. Yeah. So he was like, yeah, and
But not a
that,
rabbinical, just a devout Jewish guy.
yeah, which like, begs the question, what was he doing, like walking out of Pornhub HQ, which he wasn't probably, it was just in the area. And then he walked toward the line of, he like wandered, puttered into the line of fire, and he was taken down
I
by a female
assume
cop.
they probably have other businesses in this complex.
Yeah, like a Chabad.
Exactly. Yeah,
Um,
It wasn't a Jewish neighborhood.
yeah, and it would be funny if it was located in the Jewish quarter. But it
It
prompted
is.
all of oh, it was. So it was okay, so it is the Jewish neighborhood. I guess the Jewish
Yeah,
neighborhood is
yeah.
like the cool hipster neighborhood. Um, but the original like false reports like prompted the media to clarify that this was not an anti-Semitic attack. So there was
Yeah.
that element. And the funniest part was that all this happened on a street called Trans Island. I was like reading this and
Yeah.
cackling, and everyone around me was like, Anna, that's not fun. It made me like brought me back to like the night Trump won the first time, and I was sitting there like an idiot with a
Mhm.
smile on my face, and all my friends were like, what the fuck is what's wrong with you? Because it's just so funny.
I
It's like
mean,
the wages of
how can people,
multiculturalism.
there's just a shooting daily,
Yeah, there is,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
There's like that Belarusian proverb that's like, if you live next to a graveyard, you can't like weep for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like if you live in a mass shooting epidemic, it's like you gotta laugh.
Yeah.
We can't,
Yeah.
of course it's all sad, but like,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you can't write it. And when people thought it was a rabbi, it was really, I mean, that did
Yeah.
seem like a Soviet joke.
It did, yeah. I wish he was
A
a
rabbi
rabbi.
walks into Pornhub HQ and a female
Yeah.
police officer shoots
Yeah.
him.
Mm.
Um, and so yeah, so there's a manifesto. They're saying it's not an anti-Semitic attack exactly, though he does allude to, well, his ideology is firmly, I think, reliably based in like inceldom.
Yeah, which Michael Tracy disputes. He thinks that he's like a cut above your average incel. I'm not so sure about that. And also
Mm,
he makes the
no.
claim that he's not mentally ill. I mean, I would argue that anybody who takes it
Mm.
upon themselves to commit any sort of mass shooting or public murder is probably a little mentally ill. Though it's like, the
Well,
famous
Tracy was making an interesting case.
Artie Lang quote. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but like someone like a Timothy McVeigh or like a Ted Kaczynski, like someone who has like a coherent ideology and
Yeah.
they're engaging in violence like in internally at least, like rationally, to
Yeah.
achieve some end. Like isn't
Uh-huh.
insane. They're not like some shooters out there are just like the Joker. They just love chaos.
Hmm.
I agree that like you have to be insane to like even get to that point. But I do think there's like a distinction to be made between like someone who's just totally like clearly like
Like
schizophrenic
ranting and
versus
raving,
someone
yeah.
who's like, yeah. And like this guy, he like really tries to, I mean, it's just, it's way too long. It's got all these footnotes, like he David Foster
Yeah.
Wallace, you
Yeah, I'm
know?
like, what are you, TLP?
He like, there's a
Sadly
long
porn.
portion about like sexual dimorphism, you know?
Yes, yeah, he basically
And
this
he clearly went to college, I guess, because he's using like bourgeois and stuff.
yeah, and he's like citing a lot of philosophers, quoting them directly. Um I think he like quotes Hobbes at some point. Um but yeah, it's clearly another one of those things. It's like a dumb person's idea of a smart person because he like provides us initially with this explainer of sexual dimorphism in vertebrates, mammals, and then goes on to um,
Yeah.
talk about how this naturally leads to hypergamy, but the extreme
Hmm.
state of sexual relations in the present day, the extreme hypergamousness that we witness is like a function of capitalism. So he's a leftist basically,
Hmm.
but he's not your traditional woke leftist because he accepts the existence of sex difference on a biological level. He refutes the idea that sex and gender are separate things. He's pretty transphobic. There's a long footnote where he
He's a
talks about like,
centrist.
yeah, but he's like talking about how like, a cross-dressing man will never be a woman, no matter how much he wants to like inflict his ideology on the rest of us. And yeah, he
He
sees
seems,
so
yeah,
he
a little like humanity's poisoned.
yeah,
It has a preamble,
yeah.
okay, but then the actual manifesto starts with in the reality in which we live, manifold things exist.
Yeah. So
Could have used an
there could be
editor. Could have
multiple
used a
gender yeah,
little
genders, yeah. None of these things
like
exist in complete isolation from other things, but are engaged in constant process of interaction, which manifests in varying ways and has varying effects on the manifold things that exist. The
oh
reality in which we
God.
live is henceforth referred to as nature. So
The
that was
reality in
confusing to me
which
as
we
some
live.
yeah. But like I guess he attributes, yeah, like the extreme state of hypergamy now to capitalism. It's an outgrowth of capitalism, right? And he says like with its vile bourgeois mentality of worshiping money and carnal indulgence. So he thinks that we have an overly like materialistic and hypersexual society, which like isn't true on its face.
Yeah.
Like as many have pointed out, one of the key features of our supposedly hypersexual society is how like sexless and asexual everything is.
And like there's a case to be made, I guess, for like even as he admits when he gets into the dimorphism bit, like hypergamy in many ways is like a state of nature
Hmm.
because a woman is able to, you know, has one egg, whereas men
Yeah,
have many sperm. Therefore, they are
yeah,
a more like exclusive group
uh-huh.
that is able to make, you know, breed selectively, if you will.
Hmm. Yeah, he talks about how like within the internal logic of reproduction, men and women have basically opposing aims. Like men want to breed with as many women as possible. They want to impregnate as many women as possible, which makes them inherently less selective, whereas women want to find the most attractive, high quality mate for their egg.
Yeah.
And
And he thinks capitalism made this get out of control, and that's why we have incels.
yeah, I'm having a hard time like squaring the circle of how if this is nature, then why is it wrong or aberrant?
I think, yeah, the
Like,
case
because
he's
there's a
making is that
social
it's
layer
like,
on top of it,
yeah, that it's like
or an
gotten out of
economic
hand,
layer.
that there used to be
Yeah.
kind of like um more of an ordered way
Hmm.
in which like sexual access was. He's trying to be the Karl Marx of getting pussy. He's trying to make
Yeah, yeah,
he's trying to make
yeah.
everyone get just a little bit of pussy, but it just don't
Uh-huh.
work like that.
Yeah, and it's the irony of it is that he's saying this as a Canadian, and Canada is like probably one of the most socialist countries around.
I know, but it's not really about
Their problem
it's not
isn't
about
the
the
runaway
means of
capitalism.
production.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about the means of busting
Hmm. The whole thing really
and
depressed me
he
because I was like, vaguely like reading and researching about this event, and I was like, wow, this guy just really needed love.
I
He just
know.
needed like a woman to like notice and see him, and it would have all been
Yeah.
better. And the fact that he was driven to such extremes, to such excesses, is really scary and
I
sad.
mean, literally what zero pussy does to an MS.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to write all these words.
Uh-huh.
And he probably, I saw a picture of him. He obviously wasn't like, it's not that he was like a ugly cell.
Yeah, he
Obviously, there
was
was something
fine.
really wrong with his like personality. He seems a little humorless,
Hmm.
or a little extreme. But things could have easily gone differently for him.
Yeah, if he had just gone to Cinema L'Amour,
I
he
know.
should have shot up that place. Did you did you read any more of the manifesto?
I mean, I skimmed it,
Hmm.
and I ran that shit through GPT.
Hmm.
Um,
Are there any other
he does,
glittering insights?
he talks about Zionists a bit
Hmm.
and like, well, he has like a hit list. Let me see, let me search it. He makes like a list of people that he encourages in reality, the reality in which we live. It's the highly powerful and influential people, favored males and otherwise, along with their most loyal, vile, and crucial accomplices who are at fault for everything.
Hmm.
They preside over the present order, they enforce it, they profit from it. They are the reason why your first experience with sexuality were not ones of lovemaking, but instead of masturbating to videos of sodomy. They are the reason why we each have enough microplastics in our brain to form a spoon. They are the reason why every other pretty girl now has even more plastic injected into her face and elsewhere on her body. They're the reason there's no more culture, no more human connection, no more meaning in the daily life of the common male. Blah, blah. These are the rulers. They're the ones who need and deserve to be liquidated. And then this is his list of potential Class A targets. So he's advocating,
Hmm.
yeah, for like violence very explicitly against who he considers to be like an elite. Um, and the targets are
Patriarchy. He's not a misogynist. We can give him that.
the main headquarters. I mean, yeah, I guess. Number one is the main headquarters of international real estate brokerages, developers, powerful, wealthy people who operate them, slumlords, multinational investment companies, BlackRock, Blackstone, elite bankers and their cronies, elite politicians and their cronies, influential Zionists, large pornographic industry conferences, the headquarters of international pornography companies, and prominent individuals who are pornographic actors or actresses themselves. That doesn't seem fair. In the United States, the CEOs of powerful private health insurance companies, Luigi, the CEO of companies that are responsible for the destruction of the environment. You
Hmm.
get the idea. It is
Yeah.
kind of, he is taking a page out of the Luigi playbook. Oh, yeah,
The ruling
plastic
class.
surgeons.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can manage to find the date and location, then one of the orgies or other sinister gatherings that are held by wealthy elites would be a fine target to launch a direct attack on. Um, so that's the basic list of the foremost targets that come to his mind.
Mhm.
And then he says, after the publication of this document, the ruling classes may, of course, increase their secretiveness and information about their conferences may become less available. He's really given himself a lot of credit. And then so he couldn't even really
Yeah.
kill anyone he was planning on targeting.
Well, here's a tweet from Michael Tracy that I thought was funny. His quote body count, heh was apparently zero in
Mhm.
terms of his primary intended targets. That was really funny because, of course, body count is a metaphor
Yeah,
that
I get it.
originally refers to people killed. And we're so internet poisoned that it now primarily means people fucked. Um,
Yeah.
he first carried out a targeted sniper attack on the Pornhub office in hopes of killing the CEO or other executives. That failed, at which time he tried to storm the building. A firefight broke out. He killed a police officer, and then he was killed himself, as he foretold he would be in his manifesto. He accepted and embraced the inevitability of his own death and published the manifesto to guide others who also wished to go out in a blaze of glory to liquidate his favored word, the enablers and defenders of the predatory capitalist hypergamy state. Um, Parts of it are actually movingly written, I have to say. No, saying something is movingly written is not endorsing the entire philosophy argument or his violent action. Please try to reason like adults, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. I mean, going back to the mental illness debate, like I would say just like having a internally coherent worldview, which it's up for debate whether his was anyway, uh,
Yeah.
in no way is mutually exclusive of being mentally ill and is often like a red flag for mental illness. Like schizophrenics and paranoics have internally coherent worldviews.
Mm, not, I don't think he's schizo. I think had he not been shot, like, I don't
Hmm.
think an insanity defense
Would have worked and yeah,
would
maybe
have held
not.
up.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like there's just judging by the manifesto, there's clearly like a real crazy person, like there's a total disconnect between like what they perceive to be the problem and how they seek to solve it. Like for
Hmm.
him, at least, it's like, okay, it's like hypergamy is the problem, capitalism is the problem. We have these companies that make the goyim watch porno.
Hmm.
Therefore, like these are like appropriate targets for political violence. Like it's
Hmm.
justified, like in his mind.
But by the logic of his own argument, like porn and tech, while they may be like unnatural man-made inventions, only serve to enhance what is already the natural order of things, which is hypergamy. Right?
Yeah.
I don't even
I
know
mean,
what
I agree.
hypergamy means. It means like the top 20% of males get 80% of the females.
I think less than that, I
Yeah,
guess.
but
Let's
the 1% of males rake in all the pussy while
what's
the
like a
other men
working
suffer in
definition?
penury. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that classic chart where it's like, you know, there's
Hmm.
like three guys and with all the women, and then the
Yeah.
other guys get nothing.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, just mentally ill or not, he's not very smart,
Yeah, that's the biggest issue.
I
I think
think.
his mental illness comes about from the fact that again, he's hopelessly depressed and sexually frustrated and like just needs love, but is also
And
like
he thinks
coming
he's
up against
smarter
the
than he
limits of
is.
his intellect. Yeah, that's what's really making him chimp out. That he feels like he alone sees what's going on in the world and has to take action.
I mean, this part gets crazy. where he says you could pretend to be a young girl online and talk with large amounts of men, finding out which of them are pedophiles, gangsters, sadistic deviants, or Class B scum generally, and then set up a series of consecutive dates with as many of them as you can, and schedule the meetings to take place at the target's houses consecutively over one evening or maybe one day.
Mhm.
Then you could attend each meeting armed to the teeth, liquidating your targets one after the other.
Mhm.
Like, this guy couldn't even really kill but could barely kill one person.
Yeah, he's like the YouTube shooter.
Like, the liquidation, it's just like
I mean, he sounds like Travis Bickle, like washing the scum off the streets.
exactly. He wishes.
Mhm. And, like, I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of, like, I guess, incel content on the TL lately, and the idea is that, the fate of your average male and average female are, like, extremely divergent because even if you're, like, an average-looking woman, like a 5 or a 6, you make, like, a dating profile and you're, like, swimming in dick, right? You're supposedly, like, getting flown out and put up and da 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 da, whereas if
I don't know about that.
you're an average male, you're like a wage cuck slaving away for the man, and you're like lonely and hopeless. And even if you like get jacked, it's no guarantee that you'll like get pussy. I like don't actually think that's the case. And even if it was, we're talking strictly about like sexual coupling. Like the fate of your average female isn't really no better than the fate of your average male in the long run.
I mean, look at Emily
Amra
Ratajkowski.
Look at Amrata, even like top shelf 1% beautiful females.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking like the irony of like looks maxing being such a thing, such a trend now is that even like the most beautiful women are not spared like the humiliating fate of willingly becoming a lol cow on the internet. The whole perk of being beautiful, aside from like getting sexual attention and like financial compensation, whatever, was literally that you could just keep your trap shut and people would adore you and worship
Well,
you merely for being hot.
that's the real, like, to me, the fantasy of being, like, beautiful is only valuable if you're able to have, like, dignity,
Right.
you know?
That's the real, I mean, like,
If
honestly,
you don't have dignity
30%,
if you don't have dignity, then
what's the point? Yeah. Then you're like Jocelyn
what's the
Hernandez,
point?
the most beautiful girl on Love and Hip
Who's
Hop.
that?
What became of her? She was
Oh,
like the other like Latina girl alongside Cardi B, and she was like much hotter, I guess, and just became like a lol cow.
yeah. I'm gonna look her up.
But like literally just like 30% of being beautiful is making yourself scarce.
I know, and it's
Like raising
sad.
your mystique. Yeah, it is really sad. I guess we can talk about the essay.
Yeah, it's a little late, but we've been
Yeah, but people will eat it up.
traveling.
Yeah. Though interestingly, the discourse around the essay hit kind of belatedly.
Yeah, it came at a lag, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it dovetailed nicely with our hypergamy manifesto.
Mm-hmm.
Emrat's
Yeah.
essay in the cut called
Here, let me pull.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker, yeah. Damn. It's rough. Yeah, after becoming a single mom, I began compulsively dating in order to figure out what kind of woman I wanted to be. I guess we never reviewed my body at the time.
We didn't
So
know.
so consider this a belated review. Mi cuerpo.
And she's gonna get another book deal, clearly.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't
think
be surprised
that's
if
kind
this
of the
essay
angle.
is, yeah, probably like a chapter in a book or something.
My whole my bottomless pit by Emily Ratajkowski.
My mind.
Um, So yeah, in a really bleak uh, personal essay, Emily describes getting divorced and going on dates, uh,
Yeah.
sh having promiscuous casual sex
Hmm.
with, in particular, a man who's she refers to as elder millennial, but I think we all know
Hmm.
is Eric Andre.
Mm. See, I hadn't even
Um,
thought of that,
that's
but I
kind of the,
assume so. Yeah.
I think that's the, yeah, because they were
Hmm.
like publicly linked around this time too. You
Right.
don't
I
have to be a
remember that.
detective.
No, no, it's easy to like extrapolate backwards. Um, yeah, I guess I remember vaguely mentioning my body on the pod when it came out. And one of the things that always stuck with me in like the litany of criticism that we've received over the years was someone angrily complaining that I was like kissing Emily's ass because at the time I said well at least the book was well written. Nobody seemed to understand that I was obviously like damning with faint praise. Uh, the book
Sure.
obviously what was well written, like the prose held up. It was fine. It was like house style prose. Uh, and I'm happy that she wrote a book and made money off of it and whatnot. But that book always like bothered me because she the main like theme of it is her blaming men. She doesn't just blame men. She blames her mother, her friends. She blames
Women
everybody but
too,
herself.
yeah.
Yeah. The industry, like everybody's to blame but herself because in classic woman mode, she like can't take responsibility for her desires, which are like not that abnormal or outrageous. Like, come on, she knows she's a pretty girl. She wants to get attention and make money off of it. That's like
Fair.
reasonable, yeah. Yeah,
And
and
in
there's
this
this,
essay, and true to form, once again, she's done nothing wrong.
yes.
She's like a victim of the unfortunate circumstances that have made her
Hmm.
a single mother.
Yeah,
Um,
she's like a victim turned villain.
and while there's like a kind of like a very phony self-awareness of her like power that she yields over men,
Hmm.
she still is sort of like casting herself in this like objectified role.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
there's this through line in the book and in the essay too where she basically wants to be hotter than everybody else. She wants to derive pleasure from this knowledge, and then she feels angry and bitter when her life outcomes don't exactly line up with the expectations that she has for herself, because in the
there's this,
internal logic of her mind, she's so much hotter than everybody else that life should just be better for her. And it isn't because, unfortunately, hate to say it, but even hot girls get humbled by life.
I mean, and her life probably is better
It is,
than
yeah.
most.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Well, here's a particularly cunty portion. She says, "Divorced single mom? What about instead a woman who needs nothing from men? I already had the kid and the motherhood experience so many of my friends secretly coveted while pretending to date casually. I had no illusions about the romance of marriage or a shared life together. I'd learned the hard way that being alone was better than most partnerships. I'd seen too much, discovered what many women do only when they get divorced in their mid 40s. I'd lived through the failure of a unit, yet I was barely into my 30s.
Yeah.
This was my villain origin story."
Yeah. Yeah, I guess she portrays herself as a kind of Catwoman
Yeah.
who like fell off a ledge and bumped her head. I guess that was,
Like
yeah.
all good supervillain bitches, I was an urban
Mhm.
creature. Being a New Yorker made being a single mom feel sexier, bohemian, or at least that's what I told myself. I wasn't driving a minivan to the grocery store. I was carrying my stroller up stairwells and yelling at loud neighbors through the apartment wall while still wearing my miniskirt and eyeliner from the night before. Aaron
Mhm.
Brockovich of Canal Street. So then she meets up with Elder Millennial.
Yeah. She basically just dates a series of lame, foodie loser men that she doesn't respect because she wants to feel the power of being desirable
Yeah,
versus being a
you couldn't
mom.
torture that information out of me.
Yeah, and like yeah, and all of her, yeah, it's just like a lot of humble brags. Like this essay is just like
Yeah,
nested with humble brags. She says that she starts going on these dates because she needs to get laid, not get laid in the way men do to quickly satisfy a physical urge. Lord knows I didn't think there was any chance he was exceptional in bed or likely to make me come. Besides, even if that were a possibility, I could do that at home in 3 minutes and experience the same mind-numbing seconds I would with him. What I wanted was his attention. I wanted to feel a man's desire and to be reminded that I was a sexual being, not just the mother of a toddler. The lame bar would have to do. Um, and I can grant, like, charitably that I don't think, like, Amrata's immune from, like, the more, like, wholesome and tender female emotions. Like, women do need men and we need something from them. And we're better off when we're getting along with them. But she adopts, again, this, like, invulnerable and crass feminist attitude
I
to,
know.
like, not acknowledge that she's hurt and disappointed. And that's okay.
I saw her doing
And
some
it's not
clip of like meta
novel.
commentary. Yeah, well, she
Yeah.
talks like there was some clip that the cut was peddling where she's talking about like what makes a good personal essay. And she
Hmm.
says like exactly that, that like you have to really be willing to like take a good hard look at yourself or whatever and like make fun of yourself.
Hmm.
And I was like, you're not doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's
guess
not
she
what
sort
this
of is
is.
because in the end, she acknowledges that, much like her victim persona, her villain persona was a put on, and it was a product. I'll pull up the quote. She
But
admits
the
that she was
victim
just
persona never really gets eviscerated. The victim persona is still intact because that's what she
yes,
really like is connected to.
yeah, she feels like that in spite of the fact that, like, yeah, she should be grateful that, like, she literally is like a beautiful young woman with a beautiful son. She's rich, she's famous, her parents are still alive. She probably has a
Yeah.
fleet of nannies. Like, her life is, like, not that bad in the grand scheme of things. As, like, far as single moms go, she's doing all right. Um, and she says something. I think the one really self-aware thing that she says, is that I've never been connected to my own desires. It was all ridiculous, a silly game of performances with no substance. This is when she's saying that she's just as misguided and vulnerable as she was in her 20s. But that's not exactly true. She is connected to her desires. It's just that her desires aren't really about, like,
Hers.
love or intimacy. They're about one-upmanship and competition and power. Like,
Yeah.
her view of the world is very, like, zero sum and antagonistic. Uh,
Well, and it's very, like you said, it's very like invulnerable because to
yeah,
actually voice something that you actually want that isn't
yeah,
just like to have something someone else has or to make someone feel bad or to enact some kind of like vengeance on your ex-husband is
mhm,
actually vulnerable.
yes,
And to, yeah, actually like live in feelings of like inadequacy and shame and like
mhm,
the desire that's wrapped up with those
yes.
is like way more humane.
Yeah, and makes for a good personal essay, which is why Lena Dunham personal essays always knock it out of the park, right? And
Yeah.
y
But like
y sh
yeah, narrating this fantasy of you being Erin Brockovich of Canal Street is
mhm. Well, it's just so dishonorable to yourself and to your child. Uh, and like she's a classic feminist confessional writer in that like all feminism is wishful thinking. The most common mode you see is like the Handmaid's Tale scenario where it's like a wish expressed as an anxiety, uh, the patriarchy, forcing women into sexual slavery. And then there's also the wish expressed as like bravado or bluster. Like
right.
I'm a bad girl, I'm a
I'm a
villainess,
I'm a
I'm an
fucker.
industry. Yeah, yeah. Her date with the elder millennial ends with her sucking him off, even though she doesn't respect him or find him attractive or particularly like spending time with him.
And
Perfect, I thought.
continues like disparage him throughout the
Yes, yeah,
essay. Yeah.
that's great. I was like, why would you, as a hot woman, reveal that you only sleep with losers? Like, you realize that makes your real estate go down. That doesn't make you relatable.
I mean,
That
I
makes
get
you look
it.
bad. She says,
Yeah.
perfect. I thought he didn't even think he had a chance with me walking into this, which meant that when I found myself on my knees in front of him an hour later in his half empty apartment filled with cardboard boxes, a fiddle leaf fig, typical, and a bookshelf on which the books had been organized by color, I was especially satisfied by his expression when he looked down at me. He couldn't believe I was putting his dick in my mouth. He told me I looked like Cleopatra when I gave head. I'd found everything I'd come there for, a praying mantis devouring her mate. Um,
Oh
this was really
no.
sad because, like, first of all, you don't have to look like Emrata to have men like fall all over you
Just
and like
suck a
desire you.
guy's dick.
You could look half as good as Emrata and they'll still be looking down at you like, oh my God. Like they're just happy to be in the presence of a five or a six. And yeah,
I
it's
mean,
crazy
and
to
like
like
the real
advertise that
bad
you
news
only
is like
sleep with ugly loser men.
men pretending like they didn't even think they had a chance with you is also like shtick that they do
Yeah,
to
it's a
fuck you.
game. Yeah,
Like you're not you're not pulling a fast one on this guy by giving him talk,
I know.
even though you
I,
don't like him.
yeah, I mean, just for me, like the idea of like getting off on the thought of you gracing a man with your hotness has always been off-putting.
I mean, I
I
was
get
like it's
it.
something in
It's
my
nice when
20s when I really had like not, when I really had nothing
yeah.
else going for me, I guess that was like an intriguing position to find myself in.
Yeah, it's very normal and understandable, but it is like kind of immature after a while.
Very, very much so, yeah.
Because you realize that also like the nature of like fulfilling sexual attraction is like based in a mutual understanding,
But that's not really
right?
what she's after.
Yeah, she's into
And
yeah.
in hindsight, like when I do look back on moments where I felt like uniquely kind of like powerful and hot,
Mhm.
in hindsight, I'm like, oh, like there's so many hot women.
Yes.
And like it's probably not even that novel or interesting. Even if you're
Well,
like at an
yes.
AMRAT level, it's like I mean, it's that classic
Well,
thing that everyone hates to hear, but like show me the most beautiful woman in the world and I'll show you a man who's tired of fucking
damn.
her. It's like
I was just gonna quote that that's her picture should be next to that definition in the dictionary. Um
but
yeah,
that
and
is just true. It's like
when she's recounting how like the girl that the guy previously dated was like a 22-year-old with like thick eyebrows and big brown eyes and pouty
and like
lips and
soft
like
breasts.
big
Yeah.
breasts, like who does that sound like?
Whoa.
Um yeah, she claims that she had been naive, which is what led to her downfall. She said that before her marriage she only had 8 bodies, which I saw people like disparaging her for actually being a slut because 8 bodies is a lot, and it's come on now.
It's probably more than
If
that,
we
but
believe her, yeah, I don't even buy that. Um, she said that she says that she believes that men didn't take kindly to sluts. Untrue. Men love sluts. Boys didn't fall in love with,
exactly.
want forever with, raise babies with, or take care of sluts. I wanted to be taken care of. No, you don't. That's the thing. It's like you don't. You don't want forever with somebody. You
Well,
want
and
to
she
be like
wants someone I think she does genuinely want someone to think she is the hottest girl in the world
yeah, but you know how you do
and that
that?
there'll be some kind of like security in that.
Yeah, there isn't. Um, but the way that you do that is that I mean, it helps to be pretty and thin and have like big gnats or whatever, but the way that you do that is by being easygoing and kind and having a good sense of humor.
Well, yeah, that
being
there's no like degree of hotness that will compensate for your personal shortcomings,
yeah,
unfortunately.
you have to make a man feel good about himself, and not just in the sexual realm when you're like giving him sloppy toppy. Um,
Yeah, not just
but
because he should feel so good being around you because you're so hot.
yeah, it's always well, I was thinking about this because I watched that Anne Hathaway, Nicholas Galitzin age gap movie the other day, The
Oh,
Idea of You.
yes. I love
This is
that
the third
movie.
in a sequence. It's so bad. It's amazing. At first all the pacing
It
is
makes
really
no
slow.
sense.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
they're just talking about it's so funny because the real premise of that movie isn't that there's like an erotic and passionate reverse age gap. It's that she's like an annoying, neurotic, frigid bitch who trauma dumps on him and he still falls in love with her. And that's the theme of all these movies, and they all end in you. There's regretting you. There's the map that leads to you. And then there's the idea of you. There's like a trinity of these like Amazon originals, rom drums, and in all of them the main character is like unattractive, but it's like an attractive woman who's styled to be less attractive because she's like a mousy brunette holding a glass of wine, and she's
Right.
kind of
She's a
like,
little like frazzled.
yeah, she's frazzled and neurotic and a little obsessive compulsive and kind of a
And
prude.
it's usually, yeah, it's because she has kids, so she's a little like, she's a little bit
Yeah,
mommy mode and she can't quite break out of it.
yes, yeah, and like I realized that the real fantasy is that these are movies made for fat chicks who hope that a guy will pick them, be like, you there, like pointing into the crowd, in spite of the fact that they're fat. And all like the age gap or
You think that's all just proxy for,
tragedy stuff is like a proxy. Yeah. Um, yeah, and Amrata basically says that she felt like if she was a good girl and played by the rules, she'd be spared the fate of getting cheated on. And then when her illusions came crashing down, she decided to like fuck her way into being a new kind of woman by giving men a taste of their own medicine. I don't think that's true either. I think she was always the same kind of woman.
yeah, I didn't sense a tremendous amount of personal growth.
Yeah, and all of this rests on like a profound understanding of sex that basically treats men and women as equal, which they're not, as the Montreal Shooters Manifesto points out. Men and women like don't exactly experience love and sex in the same way, right? Like you can't really get back at a man by fucking every other man and making a public
Mm,
display out of it. He'll either be
no.
indifferent or he'll think you're like a huge loser unless he's like a hot-headed Puerto Rican teen. No man who sees his ex like fucking her way through his friend group and downtown circle is like, oh damn, I'm owned.
Oh, I really messed up.
Yeah.
I better make
He's on the
things right.
Yeah, he's like on the phone calling his boys about like sports betting and Polymarket or whatever. But it's funny because
I
like
mean,
only
it's just,
feminists and Jews think sex is about power because it is about power for them. It's not really about power for men. It's about sex, which is why they cheat.
and that's why they accuse men of sex being
Yeah.
about power for them.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, also, yeah, when she talks about the exceptionally beautiful girl with thick eyebrows and soft breasts who the elder
Mhm.
millennial was dating before
That
her,
was
she
me.
says, that was you. Um, I wasn't jealous, though I was slightly disturbed by their questionable age difference. But there was
Yeah.
something that struck a nerve. I sensed that he had never considered why so many women were available to him. All he knew was that after he was done fucking one woman, another different yet equally intriguing one would appear just behind her. Um, that's not true. She clearly likes guys who she has a very clear type as guys who are kind of ugly hot,
Yeah.
but who pull a lot of chicks. And it's
Right,
because
exactly.
sex is fundamentally competitive for her. She's
Right.
specifically attracted to guys who have lots of women available to them so that
And
she
choose
can
her.
feel unique and chosen.
Yeah, and it's like a tightrope walk because you don't want him to be fucking tons of dogs. You want all the other women to be really hot.
But
You
you
want
want
them
to
to be like
feel
sort of
hotter than them
interchangeable.
also.
Yeah, but when it comes down to like the final like hair splitting, you're the
Oh,
hottest.
well, this part.
And
His
it's
innate entitlement motivated me. I knew I'd be the one to end things with him, and that felt right. It felt like my responsibility, like I owed it to the world, like I was the only one for the job. Take that, motherfucker. You sure showed that guy by having letting him have sex with you and
and writing an
fucking
essay
him
about
on.
it. Yeah.
By
Yeah.
letting him have non-committal sex with you. That's you got his ass. And she did it for the world too.
Yeah. Because she's a freedom fighter. There's a really good passage in Serotonin where he says some women give the impression of being more natural and more naturally in tune with the world. Sometimes they even manage to seem indifferent to their beauty. Of course, this is an additional lie, but in practice, the result is there. He's talking about his um ex-girlfriend who he loves versus his current girlfriend who he hates because the latter takes, at least 6 hours a day to like slather on various creams and do her like Korean skincare routine. And the other one spent a mere 30 minutes in the bathroom.
Hmm.
And like, yeah, obviously like female innocence and naivete is a pretense, but like that also goes a long way.
What?
Like giving off the impression that you're like more natural and indifferent than you are.
Of course.
Yeah. Um, and then she says that she learned two things, that one, many men are turned on by motherhood, and that two, the more that you seem to not need a man, the more that they desperately need you. I
Also
mean,
fake.
that's fake. I mean, like, the thing is, like, at her level, being a single mom is, like, not a deal breaker at all. It's not a
Right.
value add. Uh, I don't think men, like, cynically, men are not necessarily turned on by motherhood. They accept it if you're hot enough. Uh, but more importantly, if they're like the player type, you being a mom is great for them because they don't have to commit because they know that you're going to choose your kid over them 11 times out of 10. So it's easier. Or they're
Well, here's
pedophiles. That's
another.
also an option.
He says, when Elder Millennial told me he was pretty sure he was in love with me after just 3 weeks, I told myself there was nothing for me to worry about. I had the upper hand. I knew there was no chance of me falling in love with him. I didn't even like him really. But it was more than that. He didn't offer me anything more than relatively superficial escapism. I wasn't getting off on the sex, you don't say, as much as I was getting off on being romantically inaccessible for the first time in my life. I was that bitch. Too busy with work, friends, and divorce. Too preoccupied with the love and care I took pleasure in giving my child to want anything more from him. Lies, lies, lies. He's not in love with you. He's just saying that.
Yes.
You're
You're too full of
hoping
yourself to not
that
see
he
that.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're getting off on being too busy getting divorced?
And you're not actually that busy because all of your fake busy work is a proxy for your all-consuming need to seek male attention. There's even the part at the end where she sees the divorce lawyer and she shows up in like a mini dress and thigh-high boots and and is surprised that guy doesn't immediately like trip over his dick, though she frames it as
Yeah.
he might like issue a judge, he might think the wrong thing. Really, she wants him to be sexually attracted to her. I guess she goes through life just not being able to tolerate anyone who's not sexually attracted to her.
I mean, that's well said.
Yeah.
Freudian nightmare though.
Hmm.
Really
And
just if
as
you're
it turns out, yeah, she says that he's like a noble and kind man, this lawyer, but most likely he's just indifferent and impatient because
he's
he
just
deals
doing
with
his
like
job.
he's doing his job and he deals with a bunch of crazy clients day in and day out, and he's there for like a paycheck. I think it's really hard for really beautiful women who are used to that being like their core like marker of value, their main identity, to acknowledge that beauty is often like a secondary thing in normal mundane affairs.
Yeah, I feel bad for her in a way.
It's like Paulina Porzakova or Linda Evangelista, like these beautiful models who just like really have a hard time aging. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
then
to
of
go
course
through
like
life with that being kind of like foregrounded.
yeah, and then the
Because yeah,
Schadenfreude
the
that
interaction
other
with the part with the lawyer is like telling. Like it's like let me find it.
yeah.
So they're meeting for the first time. He came out of the
Yeah.
office. I stood up, suddenly feeling self-conscious about the mini dress and knee-high boots I'd worn. I felt instantly that I'd let him down, shown him that I had no idea what we would be up against if we ended up in court. This was not the kind of outfit to wear to prove to a conservative judge that I was a good mother. I mean, courts are always
Why'd you
going to think
wear
we're mothers, don't?
sure, but why'd you wear it?
Exactly. But the lawyer was a kind man, or at least a polite one, and as he led me down a gray corridor, he gave no indication that he thought my ensemble was in any way inappropriate. Because, like, you're the only one who's obsessed with how you're presenting yourself and what you're wearing
Yes.
and how people are reacting to you.
Yes. And like her life would be so much easier and she would be so much more lovable if she just stopped thinking about herself and wasn't so in her head about this one specific thing. Because the thing with beautiful women is like, hello, we can see with our own, we have eyes, we can see that you're hot. You don't need to think
Yeah.
about it. You can just merely exist and shut your mouth.
And that's
Um,
like one of the great privileges of being beautiful. Like I said, it's like you have like the dignity of knowing it
yeah.
and not having to like prove it and reiterate it constantly.
hmm
And
Um,
she is beautiful, like, you know?
yes, undoubtedly. And she's smart. She's not a stupid woman either. She has a lot of virtues, you know. Um,
I know.
and she's like she's a pretty good writer. Her prose does hold up. She's not a disaster
It's
as a
not
writer.
bad
She can write an essay. Um, here's another
about
really
herself.
yeah. I mean, but that's most women, and it's like you know,
I
I bet if
know.
you commissioned her, if you gave her an assignment to write about something else, she could probably handle it.
She could
Um,
pull it off.
she talks about the experience of giving birth, you know, the collapse of her marriage, the dread and fear that she experienced at being like an object of scorn and pity in people's eyes. They saw me as someone who was unwanted, who had been left, a reject with the burden of a needy, hungry, 2 foot tall sidekick. And it's like, forget men or other professional and sexual rivals among women. Like, this is how she talks about her child, her own child. He's like a
I know.
footnote, an afterthought. He's her sidekick.
And then the bit about how she's always home even after she's had a bunch of like your son's
Yeah,
gonna read this one day.
I
Your son's
know.
gonna see the picture of you with the plastic baby and the leather pants
Uh-huh.
and you read your essay about how you suck dick
Yeah. It reminds
and
me of that
like
time I did like the Asa Akira podcast for Pornhub, and she was really sweet and cool, and she has 2 kids and seems like a great mom, but one of the questions she sort of like naively asked me was like, well, you know, you have like a reputation for being like you know, right wing and a troll and whatever. Aren't you worried that your son's gonna grow up and like see what you said on the internet? And I wanted to be like, lady, like you, but I don't think she meant anything by it. She's like really like a cool and sweet person. I think her kids are gonna be
No,
fine.
and that's probably
But
something
like
she I think that's
has
probably
thought
something
about.
she's heard, yeah,
And I
and
was like,
thought about at least, you know, even if she's not directly associating, surely.
yeah, and there's all these
And whatever,
asides. And she's like,
we're all gonna have a digital footprint, et cetera, but it's like,
yeah, that's disgraceful and like lol cow-esque, unfortunately, for our
unfortunately, that's just how things
progeny.
are,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, there's just like all these asides in this essay about how she's like busy and living life, but she's like, you don't get the impression from Emrata that she's a person who really like lives or knows how to live, even though she does have like a cool and glamorous footprint on social media, right? Like
She
it
goes on
feels like
vacation.
yeah,
Seems
all
like she goes
rich
on
and famous
vacation
people
a
do,
lot.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess it looks glamorous from the outside looking in, but you come away with it from it with a sense that she just like, yeah, really cares about how she's perceived by others to an unhealthy degree.
Yeah.
And that the primary perception that she is concerned about is being seen as hot and sexy, which like goes without saying. And then on top of that, there's this additional layer where she wants to be seen as a good person.
Or like an innocent person, which is
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
also,
Which she's not. She doesn't want to be implicated in her more like ordinary base ruthless motives, which is like she really like at the end of the day gets off on punishing men and making other women jealous of her. She
which
does.
she sort of pretends to own up to the first bit
Yeah.
that she's like on
Well,
this crusade. But it's like a very shallow, I'm not buying it.
yeah, well that part is more socially acceptable because it's like in line with like mainstream culture,
Like,
which is like basically male tears still to this
yeah,
day. It's okay
of course.
um to mock and belittle men for being like cucks and faggots and whatever.
Or
Um
like doing embarrassing things too while
yeah.
you're willingly having sex with them. Like you're still the
Yeah.
loser. You're like writing an essay about what a loser the guy you're having sex with is
Yeah.
like you're the loser.
Yeah, that makes you a loser by association, right? Yeah, if
Because
I
the
were her,
implication
I
still is like
would
you're the prize.
yeah. For losers, yeah. I wonder what would happen if she like fell into the hands of a legitimately desirable high quality male who made her feel good about herself. Because that's not like outside the realm of possibility.
I don't know. I don't those are hard to come by, you know. I feel for her,
Yeah. She
but I
says the
just wouldn't
care
narrativize it in that way.
in what way? Like being
Just, we tell ourselves stories in order to live, as Joan
yeah, so
Didion
true.
said.
Yes, that is so true, yeah. Um, but I think her story, she says that the character I'd learned to embody after my divorce in my period of compulsively dating was a villain, poison ivy Catwoman, sexual but scary. And she drank gin martinis, many, many gin martinis. She was not tragic, nothing close to a victim. And no one needed to feel sorry for her. In fact, they should all be jealous. Um, yeah, again, I don't know if this is a character persona that came about after her divorce. Doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. I mean, even,
And
yeah, her ex-husband was a very desirable man,
uh
and she wanted to be the one that, like, locked it down.
right.
Like, all
But
those
she could.
motivations weren't, yeah.
But she could have,
Well,
right?
I mean, he just had that dog in him, you know?
Sure, but that's an arrangement that people be having. It's like very
But
French. It's
she's not the kind
classic.
of girl that can have that, I
I
think.
get it.
That's
She's
the
like a nice
thing.
bourgeois Jewish girl. I get that. Yeah. But that's sort of
I don't
like,
know,
well, you
yeah.
signed up for it. And I think in the grand scheme of things, like, he's not the worst baby daddy to have.
Of course not.
He seems pretty doting and hands-on, like he loves his child, fun,
I
easygoing,
mean,
willing to
yeah,
cooperate. Like, people have it way worse.
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding a man that's like high status, super desirable to women, loyal, will make her feel adequate, will make her feel, like the checklist is so long
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that I think that's what I mean. It's like I feels it gives me like an uh-oh feeling of like a bottomlessness.
Yeah, I mean, were she even able to achieve that? Could she recognize and appreciate it? Is the question.
Yeah, that's not for
Because
us
like
to say.
you can find a man like that against all odds. It's like not a non-zero chance. Like miracles do happen, but you have to be like willing to meet that other person halfway, right? A lot of
And
I mean
yeah, you can't just be the like you can't just be the table as
yeah.
home ec talks about, Like you have to meet someone with like something that you're willing to give them.
Yeah, you have to be willing to see the other person as they are for who they are and not merely as like a reflection of yourself, which is like the big problem that young women now have dating because they're like incapable of like treating a man on his own terms and probably vice versa, frankly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like that's
Mm.
true
It's a
across
mutual problem, yeah.
genders. Yeah,
I'm not trying to like beat up on women uniquely. But
not
women
this
are like
time.
no, not this time. But women do have this like very like I say this, it's like innocent enough. It's like very normal, but it's like a very childish narcissistic streak that like when a when a guy is like anxious or moody or like not about you in that moment, you make it about yourself. It's like being a child whose parents are fighting or getting divorced. Like you naturally think it's your fault. And it is.
And it is.
I'm here to tell all children that if your parents are getting divorced, it's actually your fault because you put undue strain on their otherwise happy relationship. It,
Anyway.
it is you, and you're gonna have to learn to live with it. Yeah. Uh,
Mm.
blah
Well,
blah. Is
we
there
could wrap it up.
anything?
I have to go.
Yeah,
I
we
have to.
could.
My
You have to
handlers
eat.
are coming to
You have
take
to
me
eat some
soon.
slop. What are you doing? Are they taking you to like Taco Bell or Burger King?
They don't have taco. Well, they do in Sevilla, but no, no. Like I like at the facility that I'm at.
Yeah.
It's almost meal. It's almost meal time.
Oh, I see.
And I swear I'm not at a clinic or anything like that.
Yeah.
Trust me. But yeah, I have a schedule,
hmm
and they have
Yeah.
to come to go take me.
Okay. All right. Well, um, yeah, I'll let you go. I can't, well, we did almost like an hour 30. That's shocking.
Not bad. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
We
we'll
really
do another
are.
one. Maybe we can link up in Europe.
Yeah, we should. We can try.
We can make
We
it
can
work. Yeah,
coordinate. Yeah.
we'll figure it out. If not,
Yeah.
this setup works fine too,
Yeah.
for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love you.
I love you too.
I'll see you in hell.
Yep. I'll see you in hell.
See you in Spain.
Yeah. Bye.